Welcome everyone to episode number 14 of the Bunker Talk. I have a very special guest with me today. Not only is she one of my very best friends, and she's also, some of you may know her as the CBO of the Bunker Insurance and Risk Management. She is my Chief Behavior Officer. Not just in my life, not just in my business, but in my life. She's actually here because she is the owner of Dee-Clutter, and she's going to give us some really good tips on how to declutter our workspace, create a organized desk, an organized mind.
Life.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So her name is Dinorah Mendez. Thank you, Dee-Clutter, for being here with me today.
You're most welcome. I wear many hats.
You really do. You really do.
They're all organized though.
And you do them great.
Thank you.
Like you don't do any of them bad. So it's probably part of the declutter.
It is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Tell everyone about yourself. How did you become Dee-Clutter? How and when?
1987. No, I'm just kidding. I've generally been an organized person pretty much all my life, even when I was a little kid. Like I never got grounded because my room was a mess. Like you talk to my parents.
Can't say the same.
Yeah. You talk to my parents and they're never going to be like, oh yeah, her room was always a mess. Never. And I used to share my room with my older sister and she's the opposite. So I think that made me even more organized.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no. So a few years back, I would just always organize for my friends and my family. And I figured, maybe I can make this into a business. And well, here we are. That's where Dee-Clutter became Dee-Clutter.
That's awesome. And so give us a little bit about, beginners, right? Mm-hmm. Where does somebody start? Let's talk home first. Let's get the home out of the way.
Sure.
What are a couple things that people can do if they are feeling overwhelmed or they don't know where to start or maybe they just have a room to tackle?
Yeah. I always say don't bite off more than you can chew, because I think what happens is everyone gets super overwhelmed.
Right.
They're in their home and they're like, I got to organize my garage. I got to organize my closet. It's too much. I always say start small. Mm-hmm. Because you will get overwhelmed. Even I sometimes get overwhelmed and I'm like, where do I start? So if let's say, I would say start in maybe a room where it's like the most common area. So the kitchen or the living room. But if you're starting in the kitchen, just do one drawer at a time. You don't have to do the entire kitchen. If you have the time and you want to and you have the energy, go for it. Right. Or start with the fridge, throw away all the expired items, throw away all the food you said you were going to eat the next day, reheat. So
duplicates,
right? Exactly.
Or condense them, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Try to condense things, and if you start that way, once you do one task, I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, you know what, that wasn't that bad, right. And then you're gonna.
It's almost a little addicting.
It is,
right?
It is
because you feel accomplished when you do it piece by piece,
right? And by the time a couple weeks go by, you realize, oh man, I just organized my entire kitchen. So it's really, like I said, don't overwhelm yourself too much, because it is a lot. It can be a lot.
What would you tell the person, or for Dee-Clutter, your method of decluttering, right? Your philosophy, is it more geared towards being efficient and usable towards the client, or are you really into the aesthetics? Like you want everything to look perfect?
I mean, I love the aesthetics of things, of course, but it's not. Personally, I don't think it's super realistic. I mean, It looks nice, right? But I like to give people a system. Mm-hmm. I want to be, what works for you may not work for the next person.
Sure.
So that's what I like to focus my energy on, because I want to be able for you to, when we leave, I want you to be like, oh, this works for me. Instead of, oh my God, where is all my stuff?
Right.
Like, how am I going to keep this up? I want to be able for you to maintain it yourself. So that way you don't feel like, oh my God, I can't move anything.
Right.
Or where's this or where's that?
Where there's no flow.
Exactly. Yeah. So I want it to be efficient. I want it to flow. I want you, we definitely go in there and we move some things for sure. And I will have clients that'll call me and say, hey, Dee, where is this? And I'll tell them, oh, I know exactly where it is. I usually know where I put it. But like I said, the system. Now, if the person is requesting, they want it like aesthetically pleasing, that's fine. But the main priority is giving them a system for sure.
And that also tends to be a little more cost effective for the homeowner when they don't care so much about the aesthetics and they just want it to be practical.
Right.
Because I know, because I've seen you work and you've decluttered my life multiple times. You use the stuff that they have.
Oh, yeah.
If the aesthetics is not the number one priority,
Right.
which is always a plus.
Yeah, I love repurposing things.
Sure.
Sometimes what you were using for one thing, I'll say, you know what, we might be able to use that for this. And so repurposing things are always like a filing, like a folder filing thing where, you know, you might put folders. You could use it for Tupperware lids, you know, and you might have thought, I bought that and I don't even use it anymore. Well, let's repurpose it. I don't want you to, you know, break the bank just because you want it to look aesthetically pleasing. If we can use the stuff that you already have, let's do it.
So also that's a good segue into the next question, as far as like, in order for a homeowner to begin working with declutter, they would have to do some things prior, right? Like they have to go through their stuff.
I always recommend it. Yeah. We always recommend, make sure, you know, try and purge a little bit before we get there. That's why the consultation, the first step is really the consultation. I go there in person. You tell me what you want me to organize. We assess the space, and then I let you know, listen, this is what I recommend. And typically, it's going to be a little bit of purging and a little bit on the homeowner's responsibility,
of course,
to try and get rid of some things. And usually they do. And it kind of, once we get there, they're excited.
Right.
So, and it makes our job easier as opposed to purging for them, which we also do, but we usually will request, you know, go through your things, what you want to keep, what you want to throw away, what you want to donate. And so that way, once we get there, we just start. Yeah.
And you have found things that you can repurpose for other purposes.
Exactly.
I hate to say that twice.
Yeah, right?
No, that's great.
Yeah.
So then what's your favorite room to organize in a house?
Okay. So if you would have, I guess it depends. I always like to say kitchens. Not like to say, I do love organizing a kitchen.
Is that your most requested room to organize?
Believe it or not, it is not.
Oh.
It is garages.
Oh.
Nobody wants to organize.
Well, it's too hot, so they'll pay someone.
Yeah, nobody wants
Do you
to.
charge like a heat tax? You should.
Honestly, I didn't think of that, but I'm going to write that down. Write it down. For sure. Yeah. I didn't think of that.
It's so hot, they don't want to do it.
I mean, no. I typically, during the summertime, if someone wants to organize their garage, if we can like wait a little bit to like, so that it cools down a little bit, we do. But I mean,
okay. Garages.
The garages are typically what people are like, I don't even want to go in there.
Right.
And I go in there and I'm like, yes, I know exactly what I want to do in here.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Let's pivot to business. Let's talk about business. How does someone organize their desktop? Like digital organization.
Right.
What do you suggest with that?
Yeah. So I'm not a huge fan of having everything saved on my desktop, like on the main desktop, right? I'm a fan of folders.
I knew you were going to say that.
I know. Don't go too crazy though with the folders.
Yeah, I can't have a folder for everything.
You don't need a folder and a subfolder and a subfolder.
Right. It's too much.
But if you, for example, if you can store certain things that you typically use in a folder, I say go for it.
Okay.
Because having a bunch of PDF files on one desk, it's
stressful.
It is stressful. You open it and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then what happens a lot is you forget that you have it. You either download a new one or,
I do that.
Yes. And then you have multiples of the same type of document.
I'm guilty.
Yes. So if you can create a folder where it's commonly used documents, do it. That's my first recommendation. So that way you don't have multiples of the same thing. That's for the desktop. That's simple, straight to the point. When it comes to your emails, I'm also not a huge fan of so many folders, but if you have folders in your like for example, your Outlook email, and it's the same thing, really the same concept with the desktop. If you have your most commonly used things, keep them in a folder. Or if there's like an email that, I don't know, maybe that you get once a week or something like that, then you can actually create a rule where it gets moved into a folder automatically, and maybe have it so that it's unread, so that you have a notification, so you know maybe at the end of the week you'll go back and read it. But if you open an email, have it designated a spot. If you open an email and you're reading it, you need to know, am I going to store it? Am I going to delete it? Am I going to reply? Am I going to reply later? So the folders definitely help, but also kind of train yourself to say, okay, what am I going to do with this email? Because I've seen sometimes you go into an inbox and I've like 15,000 emails. It's insanity.
I'm trying, there's this thing in our industry of like, probably not just in our industry, but this zero inbox thing. And I know that one person had a philosophy of like, and I'm guilty of this. I go through my email and I read all of them
Mm-hmm.
to kind of see what's the most important thing that I have to do if anything is urgent. But that they say not to do that.
Right.
If you click on an email, delete it, delegate it, or reply. I
Right.
guess handle it.
Right.
If you click on it, handle it.
If not, keep it unread.
Yeah, that's challenging for me to do.
It is hard.
Because I like to know what happened overnight before I start my day, but that's not working for me either.
Right, right.
I probably
Honestly,
should try something
or
different.
try for a week.
Yeah.
Try a couple things for a week. What works, like I said, what we talked about when we first
Organization in general is not one
it's-
size fits all.
Exactly. So try it for a week and see what happens. For me, I just recently started doing like the focus time. Where it's like you block off some time. And we actually spoke about this a couple weeks ago. You block off some time, and in that time you get specific things done, right? And so it blocks off your calendar. No one sets up a meeting. No one bothers you. And in that focus time, some people like to just say, okay, it's focus time for whatever I need to do. Others will say, okay, this is what I need to do during this hour.
Right.
I need to do
They put
X,
the
Y, and
specific
Z.
tasks.
They put the specific tasks. So that's also something. You could do a focus time. Read emails.
Right.
Go through them. Even if it's 30 minutes of your day at the beginning or the end of the day daily, and have it recurring where okay, these are the 30 minutes that I'm going to focus on going through my emails. Because nothing is better than, for me, of course, nothing is better than an organized inbox. It just makes me happy.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
So.
No, that's good. Talk to everybody about Microsoft and your love for it. Give us some really good tips on OneNote. I know you're a OneNote specialist.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love OneNote.
You're helping me with my OneNote, which is great. Give us some tips on setting one up. If someone doesn't know how to do it, like what's the purpose of it? How do you find it useful? Give us some of that.
So I like to say that OneNote is like a trapper keeper. I guess I'm showing my age, right? But it's fine. But
nobody that doesn't know what a trapper keeper is watching this.
Watching this. That's
don't
true.
worry,
That's
TikTok
true.
kids.
A trapper keeper is so it's like a digital trapper keeper. You have your main trapper keeper, and then you have your different notebooks, and then within the notebooks you have tabs, and within those tabs you have pages.
Right.
That's
so like
basically
literally the colored tabs.
Exactly.
As if it was a physical notebook.
Exactly. I like to create notebooks for things that I know that I'm going to have like almost like sub things that need to fall under that. So the way, can I talk about how I'm setting it up
absolutely.
for you? So the way that we're setting it up for you is you have it set up, you have a notebook for your process, the process to, I don't know, give me a process of what you're...
I have a process for creating a finance agreement in IPFS.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So,
and I have a Tango
yes.
of the step-by-step and a Loom.
Okay.
For if somebody learns differently.
Perfect. So we can have you have a notebook for all of your processes, right? And under that notebook, you have IPFS. You have Wonderwrite. You have all of the different processes for everything. So if for example, you hire someone new,
right,
and you're like, listen, I need you to learn how to do this process, they can go to that notebook that's labeled process, and go to that specific tab of that particular company.
Right.
And then within that tab of like IPFS, in there you have the process on how to do this, XYZ. And so that's how you have it set up. And it's super helpful because like you mentioned Tango. In Tango, you could record it, like records your steps on, like if you want to create a process, it records all of your clicks.
Right.
And that you can add also to OneNote. You can add links. You can add a spreadsheet in there. You can add screenshots. I mean, sky's the limit. And you can color coordinate things, however.
That's how I have mine done right now with the process. So it's like how to create a new business premium finance agreement, how to create a renewal one.
Right.
If we need to add someone on ACH, how to, like, for example, with one of my carriers, Aon, how to add a new attorney to a firm. Like, this is the form you need to do, and I have it split up like that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect.
Well, what you helped me with too was making every section of a notebook the consistent.
Right.
As far as like the first page of every notebook is going to be the contact page of the underwriters of the person to call. That is very helpful for me too, because now And that one's in my brokers resources one. So it's like I have all my brokers, which those are notebooks, right? And then inside of each one, it's the first tab or the first page of the notebook is the contact information, which that's what I need, some uniformity in
We're
my
streamlining
stuff and my information. Yes.
The OneNote really helps you streamline your business.
Right.
And I'm a fan of, if you're hiring a new person, even off the street that doesn't know insurance, can they go into your OneNote and learn, understand? That's what you want. That's what I want for your business. And so that's why it's so helpful.
Yeah. I need to ask you this question because I know that we've discussed this multiple times, but I know I'm not the only person that struggles with this. Like, as a person that has never really worked in a place that had a corporate setting, a corporate training, a person that was sent a manual or something like that and says, figure it out. Like, I'd never had that experience. It's very hard for me to define a process.
Right.
So how does somebody start? Is it, okay, this is the best example, right? The most used example, but it makes sense because there's so many options, right? If I'm going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, we are both going to, first of all, I would never, because I hate that. But I don't eat
ham and cheese.
I don't eat peanut butter and jelly. But anyways, yeah. So let's assume we're going to make one. Yeah. We would start, our step number one is different.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's is. Yes. So how basic should we make a process? Like, is it literally open the door of the cabinet where the bread is?
So I say fortunately and unfortunately, sometimes you have to get pretty granular with it. Yeah. You can't just assume that your first step is going to be your new hire's first step, because your first step is going to be, oh, I already have the bread out and the peanut butter and the jelly. But where'd you get the bread? Where'd you get the peanut butter? Where'd you get the jelly? Am I using a knife? Am I using a spoon? What kind of bread? Right. Where am I? Am I in the kitchen?
Are we toasting it? Yeah.
Yeah. Am I toasting the bread?
That's what I thought too. Is it like stand up and walk to the kitchen?
Right. Sometimes the first step needs to be, search IPFS. I don't know what the URL is. Search that. Click here. So I start all of mine. Put your username.
I'm starting all of mine at the login screen. Perfect. So my number one step is login, and it has a picture on Tango. It's got the Tango of the login. Right. That's my number one step, because I figured, okay, I mean, I shouldn't have to tell someone to log in, but
the thing is that even if they do know they need to log in, if you didn't put a screenshot of that, or if you didn't have that section and you started it already from you being logged in, they're going to be like, how did you get there? Right. So even though they know, they're going to be like, I don't know how you got to step 2 and 3. Right. And so that's why you need to put, okay, you need to log in and this is what it looks like. And then, it's not like they're going to need that every time. It's just,
That's always been such a challenge for me. And I think you've really helped me be able to, make it, I guess, basic in a way. Like, I feel sometimes I feel like being so granular is a little condescending, but it's not. It's not. No, I've understood that it's not. And I think that's one of my failures of having employees is maybe I just assumed that they know, and nothing against the employees, but maybe I just, because I've been doing it for so long myself, I just assumed they know certain things.
Yeah, no. And it happens. But even the more details you can give, the better. Right. And and eventually the more details you give, you want them to do it like you, right? So you want to teach them from the beginning the correct way. Right. And you want to be able to teach everyone who comes in the same way, because if you are training one person one way and training the other way, it becomes a mess. Right. So if you have the steps and you have them recorded, that's why the Tango is helpful. That's why the OneNote is helpful. You have that recorded. Then okay, if I hire 3 people at the same time, they're all looking at the same thing. Right. Right. So
and it's it's also because I had some of these things done as far as like I had been working on it, but I didn't have a centralized location to store it. Right. So it's like, oh, well, this is on a Google sheet here and this is there. And so OneNote does provide me a place where I can just say, open the broker's resource OneNote or open the process one. Yeah. And everything is there. And it's interesting because with my new employee, it's so funny how like people think so different, right? So it's like, I went to go put in something, it was like processing an endorsement with Progressive, something like that. And I thought in my mind, I was going to do it in the broker's notebook, right? Under Progressive. And I asked him, if you were looking, if I was to tell you to add this driver to this Progressive policy, would you go to the Progressive notebook or would you go to the endorsement notebook? Like under process, like would you go into process and endorsement? And he says process endorsement. And for me, so he goes, I would think by the action that I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
And for me, I would think by the carrier that I'm doing it with. Yeah. So I'm doing something with Progressive. Let me go look in Progressive.
Yeah.
He's thinking, I'm making a change. Let me go look where I make endorsements. So that was very interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, I said, I'm just going to put it in both.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
one day I'm going to hire someone
Right.
that would think like me and they wouldn't know where to go.
But you have it. So you just have to either move that page.
And link it. I think
link
it can,
it. Yeah. You could either move the page, make a copy of the page and put it in that notebook. But you have it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you don't have to redo it
And that's the power of OneNote too, is that you have that capability of moving the pages or copying them and it makes it way easier to create process.
Yeah. It's tedious, but it's so worth it. It
is. With what you've helped me with already, it is like he asked me earlier this week, like, where do I send this to? And I said, look in the broker's resource under this company.
Proud of you.
It's the first page. Yeah. And that's what I've been missing for sure. And it helps me scale. Like if I have this in place, I'm going to be able to hire that next person and it's not as time consuming to train them.
Yeah. When you're gone, you know, even if they send you a quick text, like, hey, where can I find this? You know, oh, this is in the OneNote. Check here, check there.
And I even love it how it could be like used in teams too. And I can like reference it within teams. Like I wanted him to do a training with the NCCI that I have in a workers' comp folder. And I was like, here's the training. And I was able to send him the link. And I was like, look at me go.
I know. And I love that Outlook also. Like,
I haven't gotten there yet. But
I like note taking. Like if I'm doing a meeting or I'm running a meeting.
Tell me how you use it.
So if you have a meeting set up in your calendar and you want to take notes, you could send it. There's a button on your Outlook, if you set it up, that you could send it to OneNote. And what it does is it lays it out for you. It puts all of the attendees. It puts a little box next to each attendee so you could check off if they were there, if they weren't.
Oh, like taking minutes.
Yes.
Almost. Oh.
Yes, that's exactly what it does. And so then you could take the notes at the bottom and then you can email those notes directly from OneNote to everyone who's on the attendees list.
That's amazing.
It is. Listen, Microsoft, hello, give me a job. I mean, come on.
Let her declutter.
Come on. I mean, give me like a percentage or something.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
I love it. I'll show you when we're done.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So much.
All right. So enough about OneNote, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we could do a whole episode on that.
Yeah. Oh,
but
for sure.
Tell me how do I clean my desk? Give me like good desk cleaning. I'm not trying to say Zen.
We could also have a whole episode on this as well.
Yeah. Like, what are your tips on? Do we do it Friday afternoon before we leave, or are we walking in on Monday morning and zhuzhing the area?
I'm a fan of end of week. I want to start my beginning of week nice and organized and tidy.
Okay.
Your desk, honestly, if your desk is a mess, Monday through Friday, Monday morning to Friday afternoon, that's fine. I mean, some people prefer. I don't like to work like that, obviously.
Duh. You would be really bad at your job.
Oh my God, I would be terrible. But if that's fine. But as long as you take a moment on Friday, I like to organize it on Friday afternoon because, like I said, I want to walk in Monday morning and my desk is tidy and it's fine. If you are a note taker, if you, still,
I have like 3 notebooks on my desk.
No. That's fine.
Well, you haven't decluttered my desk.
That's fine. No, because you need to. I've given you the tools.
You have.
Okay. You don't need me anymore. No. I need you to fly. But yeah, so try and clear off your desk of any scraps, any Yetis. I know there's people that have 3 or 4
I don't
Yetis.
have the cups on my desk.
I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any cups, coffee cups, water cups, even if you eat at your desk. I recently bought, I know this is extra. You don't need to do this, everyone, by the way. Don't. But I bought the little mini vacuum and it's like this big. It's the best.
For the crumbs?
For the crumbs. Yes.
Well, why don't you just not eat at your desk?
It's not realistic. I'm a realistic professional organizer.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I don't like to eat at my desk.
I
I walk into that room and I'll eat there fast for 3 minutes.
Okay. Well,
it's okay.
Sometimes
everyone can't be perfect.
Right. So I'm not saying you have to buy the vacuum, but yeah.
No, I would never buy the vacuum. I would throw the crumbs on the floor and vacuum the floor.
What?
Immediately. I have why wouldn't I? You don't need a little vacuum. Or
you don't
go
need
like
it.
This with your crumbs.
You don't need it, but once you get it, you'll realize, how did I live without it? I feel like Monica from Friends, where she's like, I wish I had a little vacuum to clean this vacuum. Anyways, but yeah, so get rid of any scraps, any cups, anything that you have on there. If you have drawers, I always say, like, even if your drawers aren't super organized. If you could put some things away, it's like almost like out of sight,
clean
out of
slate,
mind. Yeah. Even if it's like your 3 notebooks, put them in the drawer, or stack them nicely and set them off to the side. I'm telling you, Monday morning you're gonna walk in or you're gonna sit at your desk, whether you work from home or an office, and you're gonna be like, I'm glad I took the 5 minutes to do this.
Yeah.
Or some people set a timer. They'll say, I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes. What can I do in 5 minutes? And then in those 5 minutes, they tidy their desk.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's good.
Yeah.
No, I do like to leave my desk good on Fridays. Yeah. I have a lot of industry magazines that I get, and I have friends on the covers of them, so I don't want to get rid of them. So I have a stack of them on my desk, but I need to do something with them. But I don't know what.
Let me brainstorm.
Like, I feel like framing them.
Cut the covers.
Yeah, because I mean, they're stacking up on my desk, and I don't need them on my desk either.
Where are they?
They're in. I actually put them in the bin. In the bin there.
Not bad.
They're, I have some friends that have made it, so I don't want to throw it away. I'm proud of them.
You should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to throw everything away to be
No, but I also don't need it on my desk. I mean, I love you guys, but I don't need it on my desk.
You need drawers.
That's the thing. Drawers. I don't have any drawers. Yeah, because I have a standing desk.
So Amazon has these drawers that they're adhesive, and you stick them under your desk, and they pull out all different sizes. Definitely recommend. Good
question. Good. Thank you for bringing that up. Where do you buy all your stuff?
Amazon? So Amazon, okay. I go to Amazon. Sometimes Home Goods has a lot of really good organization items. They really have stepped up their game because it wasn't that good.
They go through seasons. Yeah, like Target.
I know. And what one Home Goods has, not all Home Goods are created equal.
And there's better Home Goods than others.
Absolutely.
The one by our house is not bad.
Not terrible. Not terrible.
Mean, I would say it's on the upper end.
Our house. We live in two separate houses. We just happen to live a street away.
We do not live together.
Although it would be awesome.
We do not live together, but she does live down the street.
Yes.
We walk our dogs to each other, so we could walk. We share the same Home Goods.
Yes. Same Home Goods, same Target, same Publix.
Same Chick-fil-A. That's a necessary thing to point out. Yeah.
I can actually, fun fact.
You live closer to it.
Is it a fun fact? Or
Absolutely.
Okay. This is like every morning for like the first few months of living at my apartment, I would be like, man, it smells so good outside. And I'd be like, I would go outside to like get the mail. I'd be like, man, it smells so good every day before 10:30. Right. And I realized it's the Chick-fil-A. I live behind the Chick-fil-A. I'm never moving.
No.
It's a dream. I'm like, oh, it smells so good.
Can you imagine?
I could walk to Chick-fil-A from my house.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't.
You should.
But I would.
I'm just kidding. I should.
But I would.
Actually, no, we shouldn't at all, actually.
No. I was going to say, can you imagine Chick-fil-A's OneNote?
Oof.
The process?
Their process.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
If I could marry a process, it would be Chick-fil-A's process.
They should train Chipotle, honestly.
Oh my God. See, now our Chipotle,
not great.
Good.
It's so bad.
It is pure chaos, and they are in shambles.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's so bad. I feel bad. No, I don't. I don't feel bad.
All right, rapid fire. Like this hasn't been rapid fire, but let's do it. Favorite color?
Green.
What shade?
All shades. I support them all. But emerald green is definitely one of my faves.
Okay. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Yeah, we wouldn't be friends if it was Pepsi.
No, my mom used to work for Pepsi, though, so if she heard this, she'd be, what? Okay. Sorry. Continue.
Target online or in person?
Oof. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. But I like it in person because it actually, like, my serotonin levels go up when I walk into Target. It doesn't matter what day. I'm never, like, if I'm upset and I walk in, I'm like, I'm at Target.
Yeah. But when Target's bad, it's kind of bad. And then when you leave with nothing, it's like, oh,
that's true.
They don't have anything. But no, I would be in person.
I don't really shop Target online that much, now that you say it.
I do on the app. Yeah. Their app is pretty good. Summer or winter?
Summer. Always. I don't know why I thought about that.
I don't know. Why did it take you so long?
Yuck.
Who are you?
I know. You know what it is? I thought summer or fall. That's a toughie.
Summer.
The summer this year has been.
It's been bad.
Brutal.
I know, but we're so tan.
I know.
So worth it.
True. That's true.
All right. Favorite movie?
The Wedding Singer. I thought about it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
I love that movie. I realized that I could probably recite that entire movie verbatim.
That's funny. Favorite show?
Oof. I'm gonna have to go New Girl.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't watch TV together.
We don't have that much in common, Ciara. How are we friends? Because I know yours is The Office.
Yeah.
Now, while I want to say The Office, I feel like that's the common answer. I do love The Office. Don't get me wrong. Top 5. But you also have Game of Thrones. And
I also don't, I just don't like New Girl. Like, I don't, like, you like The Office. I know you do, but I don't like New Girl.
So so the funny thing about New Girl is that the main character is really the villain. She's not good. She left for like half a season one time, and I did not miss her. New Girl is about
she's the reason I don't like her.
Supporting actors.
I don't like New Girl. She's
Rewatch it and just watch Winston the entire time, and you're gonna see that's why New Girl is the best.
That's fine. Yeah, maybe I should.
He's the best.
Favorite book?
Becoming by Michelle Obama.
Oh. When they go low,
we go high. Although it's hard sometimes.
Although, yeah, most times it is, but you know, we can do it. If she can do it, we can do it.
I mean, hello.
Favorite song? Right now. Let's do right now.
Oh, I mean, Energy by Beyonce.
Bay wants.
Yeah. The obvious answer is Beyonce, always.
Yeah. I am Beyonce.
Always.
Michael Scott.
Thank you.
Favorite cocktail?
Oh, Vodwad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Vodwad. All right. Favorite restaurant?
Fast food or sit down?
Sit down.
Fancy or not fancy? Sorry, I know this is supposed to be rapid fire.
Let's do fancy.
Honestly, Louis Bossi's.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It is.
Louis Bossi's is good. Kahlúa's is good.
It is also good.
Yeah.
Favorite place you've been to?
Ooh, California.
Really?
I love California.
Oh, I did not expect that.
Honestly, I was gonna say Chicago, but
really?
I love Chicago.
I mean, I loved Chicago too, but it's not my favorite place I've been to. I mean, you've been to Europe.
You want me to say Italy?
No, because I know you didn't have a great time in Italy when you went.
It's okay. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
No, I know you didn't. No, but I did expect Europe in general, but I didn't expect
like Paris. Paris is up there too. Yeah. I loved Paris.
But why'd you love California so much?
You know, so it's hard because
I thought you were going to say because I went with the G.
I mean, because I went with your parents and your dad is my best friend.
He is.
I mean,
who's your best friend?
The G. Obviously.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the actual place or the people that I went with.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, I got to go.
I went on the trip too, by the way.
Yeah.
I was there.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. But San Francisco, I got to go to San Francisco, Napa.
Napa's great.
Like, I mean, I got to
so
drink
classy.
all the wine. It was literally the perfect trip from beginning to end. And it was cold and it rained, and I still would do it all over again.
Yeah, no, we did have a good time.
Never been to a vineyard. I had never been to the West Coast.
Okay.
It was a lot of firsts for me.
Yeah.
I got to see the Golden Gate Bridge. Sea lions, or what is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sea lions?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The dogs of the water.
Yeah. And Sausalito is so beautiful.
Carmel.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It was fall. It was just the best trip.
Yeah, no, it was a good trip.
The weather.
I just didn't expect it.
Yeah.
And I think it was also great because it was before COVID happened. So it was like our last vacation before we knew the world was ending. So it was like it made it even more special after. Because it was like we had such a good time.
It did. Every meal that we had, it was so special. It was like,
it was.
You know, one of the days we spent it at the house, and it was just.
Well, we rented a house on a vineyard.
Yeah,
it was
like,
beautiful.
come on, man. I was, honestly, 2019, I lived my best life.
Yeah.
And then 2020.
It's okay. Here we are.
Here we are. Whatever.
Favorite meal?
Okay, so it's a meal that my mom makes me. It's
nobody's gonna understand.
No,
this.
It's a Puerto Rican dish. It's fish, and you know, it's this meal. It's called serenata, and yeah, it's a comfort meal for me. Sensation transference.
Oh, that's good.
No,
it awakens your vagus nerve.
Yes, it's funny because my mom. That's what I'm eating tonight. She's like, "You want to come over and eat?" And I'm like, "What are you making?" And so she said, and I was like, "Yeah, duh. Obviously." But yeah, that's probably my favorite. Maybe because it's my comfort meal. Mm-hmm. But I mean, honestly, Taco Bell. I thought about this the other day, actually. I mean, a cheesy gordita crunch, no lettuce.
Mine would probably be pizza, so that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like something elite.
I like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me what's my least favorite, I could probably tell you that more than like it's
okay. What's your least favorite?
I don't know. Oh. I'd have to think about it.
Stupid.
Liver.
I mean, well,
I literally like everything.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I love you so much.
I love you.
You she decluttered my space, and so here we are, the opposite of
the fern,
the opposite of Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis.
Yes.
It's
between one fern,
between me and D, between C and D. I love you so much.
I love you.
You make everything in my life better.
Oh, so much crush.
I cannot live without you.
I can't live without you.
You are my best friend. You're my sister because I don't have a sister.
Aww.
You're my dad's best friend. Yes. So I'm in constant competition with my own father over
honestly, shout out to your mom too, though.
I mean, well, yeah.
She's like low key awesome.
For sure.
She's just quieter than your dad.
Sometimes.
Me and your dad like to party.
Yeah. Yeah. And me.
The VODWADs.
It's the VODWADs. Yeah. But I love you. And thank you so much for all of your time invested in this podcast and in me. And
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you.
Very proud of you.
I'm proud of you. And it's a blessing to do life with women like you by my side.
Oh, same. Dang, look at us.
Your little hands.
My little baby hands.
We'll have you back on.
Yes.
Soon.
Yes.
Maybe
it'll be a different setup.
For sure.
Yeah.
You're going to declutter it for real.
I got you.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.